Good morning, dear students. Myself Purushottam Pathak. I will teach you the maths of standard 8. The first of all, come to the chapter 1, that is rational number. I have written here rational number. I am explaining you the rational number. Come into the previous class standard 7, you have learnt about natural numbers or counting numbers. Remind that one. Natural numbers or counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. When we discussed about the whole numbers were 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Thereafter you have learned integers also. Integers included the number of negative signs 0, 1, 2 and so on, like that. But in the previous class you have learnt the simplification of the equations also. If we think about one of the equations now, say the equation is 7x equal to 4. In that case, if you are told to find out the value of x, then x equal to 4 by 7. Where does this number include? In the natural number, whole number or integers? Nowhere. Because this is not natural number, this is not the whole number, this is not the integers. This is only the rational number. In short, we write Rn. 4 by 7 is rational numbers. What would be the definition of rational number? The numbers written in the form of P by Q. P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. See, the division by 0 gives the infinity result. So, if the Q is not equal to 0, then P by Q, if any number is written in the form of P by Q, are known as rational number. I think you got the rational numbers. Come to the properties of rational numbers. One thing more, rational numbers could be positive or negative. It does not matter, the number will be positive or negative, because I had already told you that P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0, I did not specify anything about the P. P might be any of the U digits. So, come to the properties of rational number. Very similar to the properties of integers that you had already learnt in the previous class. Rational numbers are also having similar properties. See how? The first one, remind about, the first property was the closure property. About the closure property, say A and B are two rational numbers. Then the sum of A plus B, that will also be a rational number. Where we have considered A minus B. A and B both are rational numbers. A plus B is also a rational number. A minus B is a rational number. A into B is a rational number. but think about A divided by B. It might not be a rational number and it's not mandate. So rational numbers are closed. Closure property applies under addition, under subtraction, under multiplication, but in case of division it does not apply for the closure property. Now second property is the commutativity. Commutativity property says if A and B are two rational numbers, then A plus B will be equal to B plus A. A minus B, will it be equal to B minus A? If you take two rational numbers, you will get it's not matching, it will not equal to. A into B is always equal to B into A, but A divided by B will not be equal to B divided by A in all the cases. That means commutativity applies for addition and multiplication, not for the subtraction and not for the division. Here for the division closure property did not apply, and for the division commutativity did not apply for the rational numbers. Come to the associativity of the rational number. You have already learned the associativity of the integers. Very similarly, if we consider, let here A, B and C, these are rational number. Let A, B and C are rational number. Then A plus B plus C will be equal to A plus B plus C. That means we add the sum of A and B to the C will give the same result as if we add the sum of B and C to the A. This is associativity. This applies for addition, yes. For multiplication also, A into B. A into B into C. That will be equal to A into B into C. The product of A and B is multiplied by C, or product of B and C is multiplied by A, you will get the same result. And come to the subtraction, it will not apply. If we come to the division, it will not apply. So for the addition and for the multiplication only, it is applicable for both the things. Thereafter, it comes the additive identity. That is 0. If A is a rational number, you add 0 to the A, the result is A. A plus 0 equal to A. The number 0 is known as additive identity of rational number, and additive inverse of A equal to minus A. The negative of the numbers are known as the additive inverse of the number. Technically, to find the additive inverse, you can multiply by minus 1. If you multiply a rational number by -1, you will get the additive inverse of the rational number. Next thing is multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative inverse is also known as reciprocal, commonly known as the reciprocal. In the exercise also you will get the sum to find out the reciprocal, and reciprocal or multiplicative INTT. Both the things I will explain you. Multiplicative INTT, multiplicative INTT is 1. If you multiply A by 1, you will get A. That means by multiplication, by multiplying 1, the value of any rational number does not change. And to find out the multiplicative inverse, that is reciprocal of A equal to 1 divided by A equal to 1 by A. If you divide 1 by any of the number, you will get reciprocal of that number, or multiplicative inverse you can say. Multiplicative INTT will remain same. Multiply by 1, you can get it. By multiplying -1, I had told you that you will get additive inverse. But in case of reciprocal, take care the division. In case of division of integers, I had already explained you that division is not possible by 0. So never divide any number by 0. If division is found there, then result is not to be explained, that is infinity. Thereafter, the last thing is distributive property that already you had learned in the previous class for integers. Now for the rational numbers also, distributivity. That is over addition. Very similarly, it was applicable for the integers. It will be applicable for the rational numbers also. A into B plus C will be equal to A into B plus A into C, and over subtraction, A into B minus C will be equal to A into B minus A into C, where A, B and C, all of them are rational numbers. So following this much rules, you can solve the exercise 1.1. I will explain you the exercise 1.1 now in the next class. Thank you.